The Silver Mountain Fortress is the largest fortress in Europe. It is located in the Silver Mountains, surprisingly enough, stretching over a long ridge. It consists of several forts, and of course mutually supporting. Construction began in 1769 by the Prussians and was to guard the Silver Pass. The fortress area covers an area of over 100 hectares, and the main fort extends to a length of about 3 miles. Fort Spitzberg-Ostróg, where we are going today, was erected on the top of the Ostróg mountain after some leveling. It is about 627 meters above sea level, and it is only one of all the forts of the fortress which is located in the Barsiki mountain. The others lie in the Tuva mountains. The fortress complex was built in a record-breaking time, just 12 years. The Ostróg mountain itself only took 4 years of construction. It was completely self-sufficient, and could thus fight independently without resupply for a time, which it proved it could at the time Napoleon's armies laid siege to it, and the 3,500 soldiers stationed here. Hence there was food warehouses, bakeries, breweries, Lazard Hospital, and Fortress Pharmacy. And the Silver Mountain Fortress consists of 6 forts, yet today only 2 of them can really be seen. In the last episode from the Silver Mountain, we visited the largest of the 2, and today we're crossing the valley and up the opposing mountain to see Ostróg Fort. And once again, they failed to locate a mountaintop fortress closer to the parking. So it starts with an uphill walk, but the view is worth it. So, hacking my way up another mountain. Why are mountaintop fortresses always so high up? I mean, come on. Don't they know it's hard to get there? Another abandoned Prussian hilltop fortress. Well, it's actually not abandoned. Anyway, we'll get to that. What a beautiful artillery fortress this was. About 100 men and 8 officers to guard the flanks of the large fortress on the other side. The firing ports are blocked up. But it was used as a prison, as a Stalag for pro-British officers during the Second World War, so that kind of explains why it was made somewhat escape-proof. The best part about visiting these places is not always just the cool locations, but sometimes the crazy people you meet. And when crazy people meet and they find they have crazy things in common, they go do other things. You'll see. This was still Germany.
Yes.
After 1918.
Yes.
Okay, so
this was 1945.
Okay, all right. Okay, because some of
Then Spitzberg changed to Srebrna Góra.
Okay, all right. So this has pretty much not changed. And that's the. This is beautiful, and it probably still works.
Yes, it still works.
Of course it does. Old stuff always works. It's the new crap that doesn't work.
We have then 86 officers in the one moment.
So, prisoners or German officers?
Polish officers.
Polish officers. Sorry.
German 1 officer, 2 Unterofficer, and 30 Schütze. Huh?
Yes, soldiers.
Soldiers.
Yeah. So this is where the Polish soldiers were.
Yes.
So they actually had proper beds. They were actually more comfortable than
Soldier.
Yeah. I mean, this looks comfortable. I mean, compared to being a prisoner of war camp, it could have been, the way that Russian prisoners were treated. It's so there was bars before the windows.
Nope.
No. Why not? I mean,
Look down.
it's just a bit of a drop. It's just a little bit of a ditch. I mean, if you're a soldier and you're industrious, you could sort of. But they didn't escape that way.
He tried.
Broken legs. A jump and a little crawl. I mean, for freedom. Come on.
Nope. Bavarian soldier. See, he's. We have water here. It's 93 meters.
Oh, it's the original
Down. It's really deep. If you want to look. Oh, frog.
Frog. Frog?
Frog.
How the hell did he get up here?
I know.
I mean, 93 meters? That's a hell of a frog.
No, it's not a good place for you. Go away.
You will not make it. You will not come back up. So back in the day, he used to be a water wheel.
Yeah.
So he had full of water up.
Yes. Then we have pump.
Yeah.
And we use this water. All the time.
Cool. I was in the hotel right down here in the corner, and I was like, yeah, that's going to be nice, cold mountain water. But no.
We have, if you want.
The British officers here as well, or only Polish?
French, Belgium, and maybe one or two Englishmen.
So the Polish soldiers that was captured in 1939 or surrendered in 1939,
Yes.
they remained prisoners throughout the entire war.
Yes, in the entire world. Then he's only here to 1949, 41.
Okay. So what happened after 1941?
3 escaped.
3 escaped. Yeah, I saw 3 escaped. They made it.
Yes, he go to Polish army in the United Kingdom.
Every museum needs one, including for home defense. Foot lockers, check-in, desks. Very nicely set up in here. And the foot locker is really not much different than it was when I began as a soldier. Good idea is a good idea, right? There are barracks where these are still in use. After the Second World War, it sat abandoned again until 2018, when it was taken over by a group of enthusiasts who also managed Fort Gerhard. They began to restore the place, and they've done an amazing job so far. Also, they organized an exhibition in the fort related to the history of the Polish prisoners held here, and to the period of the Prussian heritage and World War II here as well. The old firing ports, old gun positions here. Of course, the windows were smaller, but giving a good idea how this was actually put together and pasted and still held together. And the bits and pieces you find in the neighborhood. In the early 20s, this was turned into a vacation place, a hotel, so the windows were enlarged. which I suppose is fair enough. But it did destroy their original gun positions in places like here. But, well, what are you going to do? Plenty of tunnels, plenty of undergrounds, plenty of crawl spaces. So I'm guessing this, if this is what I think it is the walkway behind the powder magazine. Well, I feel invited. This is the fun part. Let the water run off from here down into the tunnels here. Drag the water out. I love the little things. Of course, this fort was also under siege by the Napoleonic armies until a peace agreement was reached and the fort surrendered, but it was not defeated or taken. In the fort, there's 19 casemates, in which there are stands for rifles and cannons. In Prussian times, it was certainly good enough. There were stationed 130 soldiers here with several officers. They, too, were capable of self-sustaining fights under a siege. Kitchens, stores, and in the entire complex, a well which estimates to be approximately 90 meters deep. The mountaintop was beveled and leveled to build the fort, shortening it by several meters. The facility was built on a pentagon plan. It was supposed to guard the Silver Pass and the southern flank of the fortress. In the 19 casemates, there are 6 cannon and a dozen rifles. One of the casemates served as a powder store for 25 tons of gunpowder. Voor de gebirgsjäger with a maximum on the back. Well, to get the horse used to it. My horse would have an absolutely nightmarish attack if I actually stuck that on him and started firing it. But later, after demilitarization of the fortress in 1867, Fort Spitzberg-Ostróg mostly sat unused until the beginning of the 20th century, when an educational center for German youth was established here. Then, in the 1930s, a training place for the Hitler Youth was created here, and during World War II, from 39 to 41 especially, a prisoner of war prison with some very prominent Polish officers and soldiers, with some of the most notable officers from the Second World War who was held here, and certainly a better fate than those of having been taken by the Russians, who shot 30,000 of the Polish officers they captured. The type of ventilation as you would find in bunkers for decades to come. Very hard to detect. You have to check if that's not what I think it is. crawl your way through this. Artillery position, ventilation chimneys. Now the staircase was part of the later construction. So was this light heightening over there. It really can tell the age here. It really needs a lot of stonework, this place. But it's damn thick walls, so you wouldn't see it, notice from the inside. I mean, there certainly is nothing wrong with the view. It is always about location, and you really can see far and wide here. Not to mention, it is a very nice scenic place to be stationed. Alright, you're put here as a prisoner of war, and that obviously sucks, but I mean, you get fed, you have medical, and you have a view like this. Things could be worse. There's a Monty Python song in this. You would have guns up on the ramparts, and you would have guns here embedded in the walls. And when I say artillery fort, I really do mean cannon only, because I don't see anywhere for any firing ports for rifle or musket, as it would have been. When Napoleon came, the fortress was, of course, part of that siege, and I wonder if it took some damage, because these walls really are very damaged, and to think this is only time and decay, which is entirely possible, but it is very sad. Now there is one more of these old fortresses that still physically stands, and I am hoping one day we'll be able to get inside and visit that as well. You will know when I know. And remember to subscribe to my channel, otherwise an angel dies. Now there you have it.
My name is Tino Struckmann. I run Lost Battlefields. Every year I travel around the world to try to bring you to all the most interesting historical military locations from modern wars and the World War II special projects, battlefields, forts, fortresses, and tunnels, everything else. Things you may not be able to see or go to yourselves. Please join me on Patreon or join Lost Battlefields through the website so you get access to all my files and my notes. It really does help, and like, follow, share here on the channel if you can. That helps too.